Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and I think that's everybody at this point. My name is Jared Budlong. I am running as an independent candidate for governor in Alabama. And one thing that I'm doing that I haven't seen any other campaigns do in our state, at least, is run a as mostly transparent campaign as I possibly can. And if you're seeing the title of this video, you will get an understanding of how serious I am. It's all public accessible information for finances for Alabama. You have to report it and you can find it if you know where to look. So rather than forcing you to find the right website and find the right place and know what to look for, because most people that are involved in my campaign, at least, haven't been active in politics before. They haven't paid attention because they felt, at least most of you, have felt not heard. And that's understandable in our state. So, what I would love to do is just show you a quick way to find my reports because I'm posting them on my website. They are publicly accessible anyway, so I'm just making it a little bit easier for you to find. So, you can go to my website and underneath the donate page. So, if you've donated to me previously, there is now a sub page under donate called Campaign Finance FCPA, which is the Fair Campaign Practices Act of Alabama, which is the reason all this gets reported and is found publicly. So you can do that, and then you end up seeing this page here. Essentially, this is underneath the donate page, and literally this little PDF on the page. It's the PDF you would find from the state website. So you can go pull it down, look at everything that's been donated for the month of June, and find out where we're at as a campaign. So that's where we're at. Next month, we will do the same thing. I'll report it and give you a heads up. One thing I want to do here, though, because this campaign wouldn't happen without some of those contributions. So if anybody's a fan of Patreon, I'm going to do something similar as long as I can. And if it takes, 30 minutes in one of the future reports, then it takes 30 minutes. But I want to run through and just thank everybody who donated since the start of this campaign at this point. This is our first finance report. We finally crossed the threshold of reporting for the state of Alabama for an independent candidate. So I want to go through and give a shout out to everybody who has donated in the past. So Anita Powell, Alice Speak, Beth Gatewood, Dana Lewis, Jonathan Penuel, Charlene Dahl, Matthew Turney, Brian Fainmore, RP, appreciate it, Joe Bean, Erica Cotton, Laura Fields, Mardell Redman. Let me expand my column there. Bonnie Crow, Erica Cotton, Corey Carter, Maria Howell, Lauren Van Zant, Brandon Hunter, Walter Osborne, Margaret Ramsher, Brian Moon, Leanne Nelson, Hilla Philpott, Carly Hall, Emily Griswell, Carol Smith, Marissa Lawton, Paige McClure. Jump over to Tony Riles, Rebecca Ziarski. I'm going to need you to correct me on that one because I know you as Rebecca Grace, Shelly Biggs, Kate Nelson Dooley, Mackenzie Kitchler, Anthony Goodson, Anna Gale, Megan Emmer, Deborah Dombrowski, Gabby Posadas, Mary Schofield, Danielle Herman, Wanda Patterson, Julia Harley, Kaylee Denny, Christina Alexander, Stephanie Bowles, and Jonathan Powell. There are many people that I can't thank for financial contributions, but everybody who has liked this page, engaged with the content, anybody who shared a post, anybody who said my name, put my name on a poster, all of you, I appreciate you. This won't work without all of us working together. And financial is a part of it because that helps pay for some of the actual campaigning that I can do and that we can, get my name out there so that people understand that we have a candidate who cares about the actual people of this state and cares about all of them having the rights that they deserve and that they should have by default, and that we shouldn't be taking those away from our residents. So I don't have a whole lot else other than that. Actually, I tell you what, I want to do one other thing. Let's see. I've got it open. I just need to open the actual PDF. And so again, this is our first report. So we started with zero. We took a total of donations of $2,276.80 with expenses or expenditures being $751.86, meaning there is a rough account balance. It's not the first of the month, so there's already some money that's come out, but it's $1,557.29. So I, as governor, will work for you. And how that money gets spent is publicly accessible. You can go see where that money went. And if you have any questions, there's a feedback form on my website. Happy to answer those. And if you want to contribute further, please do. There's a couple ways to do that on the website, one of which is Donor Box. You can do single donations or recurring donations. Every single contribution helps. And if you can't contribute financially, I fully understand. Like that's kind of one of the reasons I'm running, is that this state is not top of the list for a lot of areas, including on top of healthcare and education, like I've talked about regularly. We're a very poor state generally. So I understand if you can't contribute financially. So the other way to do that would be to share. So share content, make sure other people know that I exist. The point of those contributions is literally just to get my name out. Like that's all I'm trying to spend that money on. I can't speak for other candidates, but that's why I would take in contributions, is so we can get my name out to more people, so they know that they have another option who cares about them. So from there, if you can't donate, that's okay. Share posts. You could contribute your time if you have some spare time. There's a way to volunteer. We are building up that volunteer base now, and the only caveat I'll give is if you offer to volunteer, I want you to be as true to yourself as possible when you fill out the volunteer form. It feels like a work application, because I kind of want it to feel that way. Because if you say you're going to be able to help the campaign, I need to know that's what you can do. So if you can only do if you only do like an hour a week, is usually what I say. Like, hey, if you can only do an hour a week and you can only do it in, you know, I don't know, September, like, okay, that's fine. Like, you've got stuff going on this summer, that's fine. But in September, I can reach out and say, hey, it's time to get going. Then that's cool. If you can work, for the campaign and if you can volunteer for the campaign and do that on a regular basis, that's even better. But there's no hard feelings on my end if you can't do either. At the very least, make sure people know that I exist. So that's it. Short campaign report on finances. I look forward to seeing you guys tonight, because today's Tuesday. We have a meeting at 7 o'clock for policy, and the goal there is to talk a little bit more about Medicaid, and discuss maybe some ways we can implement Medicaid expansion in the state. And then we still are doing research on how to maybe expand what Medicaid covers in our state. We're looking into it, but I think I have an understanding of how we can just implement it in the first place. So if you have any input, or you want to talk about anything else related to healthcare, education, or the criminal justice system, come tonight at 7 o'clock. Any platform, if you want to join the conversation, there is a link on the website to join the Google Meet we will be using. So if you want to join the actual conversation and not just do comments, you are welcome to do so, as long as you keep it, keep it respectable, show up and help be a constructive voice in the conversation, then you are welcome to join that conversation. We want as much help as possible. Rebecca, thank you for asking. How does one volunteer? You work from home, but over 40 hours a week. If you have time that you are willing to donate, there's a volunteer form on the website. So if you go to the link in my bio and go to volunteer, there's a form you can fill out. It is rather lengthy. So be prepared to fill that out, and then we will get to you as soon as we can. We had a rather large influx of people within the last couple of weeks for obvious reasons. If you're not sure, check the news. Yeah, but you can fill that out, and then we will get to you as soon as we can. And the idea there is, you get to pick what you do, though. So we put you in a system, what tasks are available, and if it's something that you think you can help with, you pick it up and take it and do it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, because I want you to pick something that you're passionate about and knowledgeable about. Because otherwise, we have to spend more time getting acclimated with something else, which is what I'm having to do, because I'm having to learn a lot about everything, rather than like somebody who is a nurse wanting to talk about healthcare, that's a much easier ask than me trying to learn everything about all of the various aspects. So the more people I get involved that have specialties and know those various aspects of our state, especially the key three. So we're talking about healthcare, education, and criminal justice. Uh, we, if you know anything about those and are passionate about improving the lives of our residents regarding those three areas, I think I just found a more succinct way to talk about my three topics. Uh, I would love your help. So, and if you can't volunteer on a regular basis, meaning like, hey, I don't know how much I'll be able to help, show up to meetings. Like, just literally show up to these live streams or the meetings that are listed on the website, and you can contribute whenever you're available. So, the volunteer thing is more, I want to be active in the campaign. Like, I want to say, hey, like every week, I want to be able to help. That's kind of where the volunteer form comes in handy. Gracie, how do you feel about recreational marijuana for our state? If not recreational, uh, then would it be allowed under medical? Um, I would gladly let that be decriminalized, if not fully legalized. There are concerns about other drugs that I think should be legalized. The problem, it ties back into healthcare. So we have to be able to take care of people who need assistance for, let's say, substance abuse. I don't want to legalize something and then make a problem worse, right? I don't think they should be criminalized for it, but there's some precautions that I want our state to take before we just blanket let people have access to everything under the sun. And I don't know a quick and easy way to do that. So we're working through some of those ideas. So hope that helps. And Felicity, did the person in HSV get the yard signs figured out? I want to get one, but I don't remember who was going to do that. You would love one. So this is since it's finance related. The yard signs are there. They give us they provide a little bit of contribution to the campaign, but the primary goal of those yard signs is to get a name out, which is the point of the finances that I mentioned earlier. All of your contributions, the end goal is to get my name in front of more people. Yard signs right now, the most efficient way for me to get those to you is to have you order a batch of them, and by a batch it's 16 by the current design and size we're using, and that is $160. And I understand, like I mentioned earlier, it's not a great time for a lot of the citizens of our state, a lot of the residents. We're not rich, right? So $160 is a hard ask. I get it. The easiest thing I've found is finding 15 other people and getting them all to pitch in $10, and then we will ship a batch of 16 to one of you, and then you can distribute those amongst yourselves and put them out in your yards. So that's one way to do it. If you have other questions, you can fill out the feedback form. I am slowly getting through those also because there's a huge influx of the feedback submissions, so I'm trying to get through those as well. I read those. That's not somebody else responding back to you. That is me, because you're giving me feedback as the future governor, and I know that won't work that way once in office, but while I'm campaigning, I want you to understand that I care. This isn't it's not a ploy. I'm going to end it like this. I'm a guy from Daphne who's fed up with the state and the way it's running, so I'm running like this. This is me trying to help, and this is the way that seemed the most urgent and the quickest way to actually help out the entire state. So Felicity, let's see, put in a comment. Okay, I know someone here wanted to do that. Just wondering if they had or not. I don't want to do that conversation publicly because I don't know if they want to release that information or not. But reach out to them, and if they want to do it and haven't received them, please have them message me, because I believe we've shipped out all the batch orders. We had a kerfuffle where people were ordering single signs for this purpose, so everybody can pay for a single sign, but there's one person who's responsible. People were buying the one-offs and not having a group together already, so we're having to ship out single signs, and that is not financially responsible. Shipping out a single sign is not there's not a good use of campaign funds, especially at the price that we were charging for them. So that was intended to be a batch price split so that people could easily pay for their own rather than just one person collecting all the money. Anyway, uh, I think that's it. I've got to run, so I appreciate everybody watching. 5 or 6 people that are here. If you have more questions, you can either comment here if it's related to this video specifically. If it's just a general question, please use the feedback form, and again, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Y'all have a good rest of the day, and if you can, show up tonight at 7 o'clock. You emailed however, I think it was. Sorry, one more comment. And then Felicity, I've got to go because I don't think they have you posted as a candidate on their site. Yeah, that's not uncommon. Part of it was because, like, I filed my campaign committee back in February, so like the state has known about me. That I'm that's been official for a long time. Some people don't like to list you as a candidate until you have, I guess, raised enough money and have officially announced yourself there. Whether you send them a PR letter or not, we'll see. But I've officially filed my first financial report, so I am officially an official campaign or a candidate. So anyway, thanks for everybody's support. You have a good day, and I hopefully will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. If not, Saturdays. It's mentioned in the thing below, but Saturdays at 9 is our strategy meeting for the campaign, and then at 10 o'clock is field organizing. So if you want to get some people together to get boots on the ground, so to speak, that is Saturdays at 10.